An average CEO makes hundreds of decisions a day. Most of them feel like reasoned judgments. Most of them are actually shortcuts your brain took without asking you. This is exactly what we are unpacking today. 4 brain-based tools. The first one is bias recognition. Then we have working with your 2 decision-making systems instead of against them. The third is managing decision fatigue and making sharper calls under real uncertainty. These are the tools we use in high-stakes coaching with senior leaders. Let's get into it.
Let's start with the brain itself. It runs on pattern matching. That's what makes it more efficient. It's also exactly where the bias lives. Confirmation bias, anchoring, and status quo bias. None of that is actually a character flaw. They are default settings. They fire up faster than conscious reasoning, especially under time pressure or fatigue. You don't eliminate bias by trying harder to be objective. You catch it by building a checkpoint into the process before the decision is made. Here is what that looks like in the room. Someone throws out a rough number early in a budget or valuation discussion, even a guess, and it quietly anchors everyone's sense of the right range for the rest of the meeting. No matter how well reasoned that first number actually was. Your brain runs 2 systems. One is fast, intuitive, pattern-based. The other one is slow, deliberate, and effortful. And good executive judgment isn't about defaulting to the slow one all the time. It's about knowing which decisions deserve it. The skill isn't thinking slowly all the time. It's knowing which 10% of decisions deserve slow thinking and protecting that time ruthlessly.
This is Kahneman's dual process research, which is foundational in executive training. Fast judgment works for decisions that are familiar, low stakes, repeatable. But irreversible high stakes calls need the slow system engaged on purpose, not by accident. So the reversibility test. One question before you decide. Is this reversible or irreversible? Reversible means low stakes. Trust your gut. Decide quickly. Move on. Irreversible means high stakes. Force a checkpoint. Sleep on it. Get one outside view. Write the reasoning down before you decide.
Every decision draws on the same limited resource. By late afternoon, after dozens of decisions, the brain starts defaulting to the easy option, regardless of whether it's actually the best one. That's decision fatigue. It's measurable, not anecdotal. Your 4 p.m. judgment is not the same instrument as your 9 a.m. judgment. So stop scheduling your hardest calls for when your brain is running on fumes. There is a well-known study on judges. The likelihood of a favorable ruling drops over the period of a session and resets after the break, regardless of the actual merits of the case.
Same fatigue curve applies to any high decision volume role, including executives running back-to-back meetings all day. So, the decision budget. There are 3 steps in it. Step 1 is audit your calendar for 1 week. Mark which meetings actually need a real decision versus just information sharing. The second step is move your top 2 or 3 hardest decisions to your highest energy window, which is usually in the morning. And the last step is batch the small stuff. Approvals, routine sign-offs, one block, not scattered across the day.
Under uncertainty, brain reaches for certainty-like signals. Confidence in someone's voice, a compelling story, or a familiar pattern, instead of genuine probability.
Leaders who make better calls under uncertainty do one thing on purpose. They separate the quality of the story from the quality of the evidence. A confident narrative and a correct forecast are 2 completely different things. Your brain conflates them by default. Your job is to pull them apart. Picture this. A well-told, high-confidence pitch to enter a new market. It beats a hesitant, better evidenced one, purely because fluent delivery gets mistaken for accuracy. It's a non-effect in judgment research, and it has nothing to do with the actual odds of success.
Step 1. Ask the team to imagine it's 12 months later and the decision failed. Ask them to write why specifically. Step 2. Ask each person for a probability range, not a single number. That exposes hidden disagreements that confident language usually hides. Step 3. Decide only after the pre-mortem and the range are on the table.
So, 4 things to take into your next decision. Number 1 is get everyone's views in writing before anyone speaks. Anchoring happens the moment the first number is said out aloud. Second, ask if the decision is reversible. That alone tells you whether to trust your gut or slow down. Number 3 is protect your morning for your hardest calls. Decision fatigue is real and it's measurable. 4 is separate the story from the evidence. A confident pitch is not the same as a correct forecast. None of this requires more time. It requires just one checkpoint. Placed in front of decisions your brain would otherwise make on autopilot.
Subscribe to our channel to get updated on our next episode, which is going to be on emotional regulation and self-management. Thank you.